We'll discuss all of this. We can cross to Berlin and speak to our correspondent there, Nick Spicer. Nick, let's start with this vaccination drive for kids, which has been divisive in some countries. How is it being received in Germany?
Well, it's just starting today, but doctors' offices were overwhelmed with phone calls trying to get their kid get the jab. So that's an indication, I think it's safe to say, that there is widespread acceptance of children getting the jab. Usually parents, when it comes to their kids, recognize, there is a danger for them. And also children can get, as you know, coronavirus and not exhibit major symptoms and then become carriers and infect their families as well. So a variety of reasons for people to get their children vaccinated. It needs to be pointed out, as the head vaccination authority has in Germany, that this 5 to 11 year age group represents 3% of the population, so it's not going to change things in a huge way.
Germany does have a very violent anti-vaccine movement, though. We heard the chancellor promising to defend the country from them. What more can you tell us about that?
Well, you're right. Since the beginning of and it's come in waves, like the coronavirus itself. Now, the latest thing came through an investigation by Germany's public broadcaster, ZDF, which found a Telegram group where hundreds of people were talking about, among other things, killing the regional premier of Saxony. And they were getting crossbows and weapons, and this was all linked as part of a conversation about how do we get rid of these coronavirus measures. Saxony is the region in Germany of the 16 regions with the second highest coronavirus infection rate and the lowest vaccination rate. So just to give you an idea of how things are. Another investigation, equally worrying, just to finish on that, they sent in the SWAT teams and all kinds of police to arrest people this morning in Dresden, in Saxony, to put that network to bed. Another one involves people sending pieces of meat to the Berlin regional governor, Michael Müller, and the police and other public figures, which were allegedly laced with Zyklon B and coronavirus. Zyklon B is the gas that was used, sadly, tragically, historically, to kill Jews in the concentration camps, just to give you an idea of the mindset of these people. So these packages were sent out. They weren't poisoned, but essentially a death threat, which is why it looks like the criminal investigations that will be open using looking at the language of the prosecutors will be investigations into terrorism against the state.
All right, Nick Spicer, thank you very much for that update on vaccination and the anti-vaccine movement in Germany.